Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Got myself a pink polo today. I've been told that I don't wear enough bright light clothing, so here's a pink one for you. Today we have got, let me check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories to talk about today. I don't want to go into tons of detail on many of them because there are a lot of what ifs at the moment at Chelsea, and I do want to start by letting you guys know that there is a link to a new secret project of mine in the description. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to talk Alonso to Barcelona. We're going to talk Aspi and how he's not going to hand in a request to Chelsea Football Club, but he still might move to Barcelona. We're going to actually, there's 7 stories. We're going to talk Koundé and surgery. We're going to talk Serginho Dest. We're going to talk Achraf Hakimi. Is there any way that this could play out again this summer? And we're also going to talk about Ousmane Dembele and how Chelsea are still in pole position. His contract runs out at the end of June and he has not accepted Barcelona's offer. I said it a few videos ago, and unfortunately, as Chelsea fans right now, we're left with nothing more than just the continuation. Let me turn this light down ever so slightly. We're left with nothing more than a continuation of, I think he's going to sign. I'm pretty sure Dembele will become a Chelsea player. I've spoken a little bit in the past about the wages could well be an issue with this one, but considering there are other areas of the field that we absolutely must strengthen this summer, I think Dembele on a free under Thomas Tuchel could well be a delicious appointment for Chelsea Football Club. We move into a player who splits so many opinions amongst the Chelsea fan base, and that is Marcus Alonso. He runs down the wing for me. Does he run down the wing for you? I say he runs down the wing for me. I'm also one of the first to pile very heavy criticism upon the shoulders of Marcus Alonso because, unfortunately for Alonso, he is not the most consistent Chelsea player that we've ever had. If anything, I'd go as far as to say that his form is either the North Pole or the South Pole. It's never really in between. Alonso's either absolutely excellent or just bloody, woeful, to be honest. But Marcus Alonso is being worked on by Barcelona. Considering we're already losing so many defenders this summer, there's something about this one that does fill me with a little bit of worry. It fills me with a bit of concern. Now, Chelsea are also interested in Serginho Dest, the US men's national team right back, also at Barcelona. Dest can play on the left-hand side. And when we look at Reece James and injuries this season, we're about to talk about Azpilicueta in a moment, there's still a chance he might leave. I just wonder if Chelsea may not actually be in a position to accept any kind of offer this summer for Marcus Alonso, because Ben Chilwell coming back from injury, that is still going to be a tentative early season affair. Chilwell is going to have to be monitored very, very closely during Chelsea's pre-season, and we might have to end up keeping Alonso. If we have got endeavours and desire, which I bloody hope we do, to invest in other areas of the field that isn't just the centre-back positions this summer and maybe some backup cover for Reece James in the right wing-back role, then perhaps Marcus Alonso leaving isn't going to be possible. It is being talked about that Thomas Tuchel will have the final say as to whether or not Marcus Alonso can leave this summer. Do I want him to go? If it wasn't such a precarious window for Chelsea because of all of the compulsory outgoings at the club, then I would probably say that Alonso's time is done because of that inconsistency again. But for the majority of this season, because Alonso's played the most of it, I really don't think he was that bad. I think it was, if anything, one of his most consistent seasons. We're talking about consistency, inconsistency here. It is a bit flip-flop from me, but it probably was his most consistent season for a while. So, Alonso to Barcelona. Barcelona are working on it. At the moment, I'm really on the fence with this one, leaning slightly more towards Alonso stays at the club. We move into some brilliant news. Billy Gilmour has extended his Chelsea contract until 2024. Billy Gilmour, defensive midfielder, could easily become a top class midfielder, but with the season he had at Norwich, where he wasn't exactly playing every game, they were getting battered almost every single week. A lot of Chelsea fans have kind of given up on Billy Gilmour because Conor Gallagher, playing under Vieira at Crystal Palace, was significantly better in terms of the visual eye and the output and performances than Billy Gilmour was at Norwich. But I watched a lot of Norwich earlier in the season where Norwich fans started to turn a little bit against Billy, but I thought Billy was decent. I think he kind of got swallowed in the middle because the players around him just were not good enough. And Chelsea have extended the contract until 2024, which does give us a couple more years to really think about what Billy is going to do. Depending on who goes out, who might come in as a big name player this summer, I think Billy could well be a part of the squad next season. I think both Gallagher and Billy Gilmour, depending on what kind of business Chelsea can get done, may have to be part of the squad for next season. Let me know on both Billy Gilmour and Gallagher in the comments down below. We move into some worrying news. I said I've kind of got like this little agenda against talking about Jules Kounde here on the channel because it just seems to be like the biggest kept secret in football that Kounde will eventually end up signing for Chelsea. He got injured for France in yet another French defeat, this time against Croatia. I think it's the first time they've ever lost to Croatia, France, which is not the best result. But, I mean, England are awful as well in the Nations League. Could it just possibly be that no one really cares about the Nations League? But back to Jules Kounde, he's having to have surgery on his hamstring. Now, the question that we can ask here is that if this is a major injury, a major hamstring problem, then why on earth is he being picked to play for France, having just finished the season in Seville? Doesn't make any sense to me. So based on that logic, we are going to hope, and I'm going to hope, that Jules Kounde's hamstring surgery is not quite as bad as it is initially feared. Will he still sign for Chelsea? We'll have to wait and see. I'm confident that he will. Obviously, players need to not only agree personal terms, fees with the opposite club, but there's also medicals that need to be passed in order for Jules Kounde to become a Chelsea player. However, I think this one will still be done, hopefully, by the end of the window. But realistically, we need this to be done far sooner because he's now injured and he's just had surgery. Who knows when Jules Kounde is going to be fit and ready to play again? We mentioned earlier, Sergiño Dest at Barcelona is one of Chelsea's targets. I also want to tie this in to a player that we were heavily linked with last summer, and I want to raise the opportunity again here. Could Chelsea this summer go back in for Moroccan wingback Achraf Hakimi? I think the interesting thing we're looking at with Azpilicueta, he said he's not going to hand in a transfer request at Chelsea, but there is interest from Barcelona. It's a big summer for Chelsea. It's also a massive summer for Barcelona. And with Christensen looking very likely to go there, Alonso being wanted, Azpi, we might as well just continue watching Barcelona next season. But I'm not going to do that because I really don't like Barcelona. But if Azpi goes to Barcelona, let's just hypothetically say that, Chelsea are going to need to buy another wing-back. Sergiño Dest is an option. 20 million euros isn't going to break Todd Boehly and Chelsea's bank this summer. But Hakimi at PSG, I just wonder if this really is the right move. There is uncertainty around Paris Saint-Germain. Mauricio Pochettino will not be there next season. Could Chelsea look at an option this season coming up? Is it even worth surrendering Reece James as the right wing-back, using him in a position we know that he can play in right centre-back, and going out and looking to try and bring in a Dest or even reinvigorating interest in a player like Achraf Hakimi? PSG haven't received any bids yet. This is just me kind of plucking something out of the air. But I do think that there could be, if a Jules Kounde deal doesn't happen because of this surgery, if Chelsea end up not getting their centre-back targets, there could seriously be, in my opinion, a season where Reece James has to kind of suffer out of his best position to play in a right centre-back role, in which case Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea might well be looking to bring in another top-class right wing-back option to the club. Chelsea have got their centre-back options. We have been told various different names, but the more that we see Barcelona, Aspi, Alonso, Barcelona, you do start to wonder who we're actually going to be left with in defensive positions come the beginning of next season. Dembele looks as though we're going to get the man. Gilmour extends a contract. Defenders looking to leave, and Hakimi. Could we go back in for him again, or would you settle for Sergino Dest? Let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed to GBFC. I'm back uploading every single day. Secret project link at the top of the description. Go check it out. You might absolutely love it. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this one. Catch you guys later. Come on, you Blues.